Good morning guys, this is your chef Sumit Pant. In today's video I'm going to tell you what questions your practical examiner may ask you in your external Viva. However, I can't promise you that these are the only questions he or she can ask you, but generally in first year the examiner stick to the basic questions. Now questions, they can come from the practicals that you have done till now and according to your syllabus. If we talk about first years, so first year is all about basic and few terminologies. One of them he can ask you is what is a mirpua. You should know what is a mirpua is, right? So mirpua is a bundle of or a bunch of aromatic vegetables, which are your onion, carrots, and celery, in a ratio of 2:1:1. 2 parts of onion, 1 parts of carrot, and 1 parts of celery. Then a very basic question that the examiner asks in first year is what is a bouquet garni? So bouquet garni is a bundle of herbs. Bouquet means bundle, garni means herbs. So bouquet garni is a bundle of herbs which comprise of bay leaf, peppercorn, thyme, and then they may ask you a few French names. French names for stocks, French name for your chicken stock, French name for your fish stock, French name for your beef stock. What is the ratio of bones and water in making a stock? So the ratio is generally if I take 4 kgs of bone, I take 6 liters of water, to which I add half kg of mirpua, and I always add bouquet garni in the end. So this was about your stock. Then they may ask you about sauce. What are the mother sauce? What are the different, how do you classify mother sauce? So we classify mother sauce into 2 categories. One is a roux based sauce, second is a egg based sauce. Now roux based sauce, you should know what is a roux. A roux is an equal quantity of flour and butter which has been cooked together. Roux can be made in 3 variety. One could be a white roux, second could be a blonde roux, and third could be a brown roux. Okay, now we use different types of roux in making different types of sauce. The other category in which the mother sauce are divided into are egg base. And the egg base we have 2 sauce. One is your mayonnaise and the second one is your hollandaise. So you should know, if I want to make a white sauce, which kind of roux I would use. Obviously I'll use white roux. If I want to make a velouté, I would use a blonde roux. If I want to make a brown sauce, I will use a brown roux. Then again, depending on how much time do you want to cook the stock. So bones with high density are cooked for longer time. For example, beef stock is cooked for 6 to 8 hours. Chicken stock is cooked for 3 to 4 hours. Lamb stock is cooked for 4 to 6 hours. Fish stock is the bones of the fish are very weak, and plus they have very strong flavor. So the fish stock is generally cooked for 25 minutes. Vegetable stocks 45 minutes. That is how it is divided. After stock, they may ask you the classification of soups. So you must have done this in your college. Soups are divided into 4 types. Your thick soups, which further divided into 5 categories. That is your cream soup, bisque, velouté, chowders, and puree. Then your thin soups, which are passed and unpassed, cold soups, and international soups. So you should know how is a thick soup made. When I talk about thick soups, they all have one thickener. For example, cream of chicken soup is always thickened. When I heard this term called cream, it means the thickener is your white sauce. When I say chowders, it means the thickener would be your potatoes. When I say bisque, it would always be thickened by using rice flour. When I say puree are those soups which we put in a blender in the end and we make a puree and it thickens up, right? And that is how thick soups are. Velouté soups are thickened by adding velouté sauce. And if I talk about the thin soups, they pass and unpass. When I say pass, that means the soup would be clear. And when I say unpass, and under unpass can come, broths. That is how it is. Then we have cold soups. Cold soups are those soups which are always served cold to the customer. No matter if they are made hot, they would be then kept in the fridge for chilling down and then served to the customers. Then the examiner may ask you some international soups, like the soup of Italy. You should know it is minestrone. The soup of England. What is the soup of England? What is the soup of America? What is the soup of France? You should all know this, right? After soups and sauce and stock, the examiner may also ask you about the different cuts of vegetables. He may ask you to define what is julienne, what is jardinias, what is messidua, all these cuts. Along with these cuts, you should also know the different types of vegetable classification. How the vegetables are classified? There are 9 basic types of classification of vegetables: brassica, grouds. You must have done this in the class. Brassica, grouds, fungi, green, baby vegetables, root and tubers, pods and seeds. All these different kinds of vegetables which falls into category. You should know that. Other than this, eggs, if you've done, what is the storage temperature of egg? How do you boil eggs? At what, how long should you boil an egg to make a soft boiled egg or a hard boiled egg or a medium egg? Omelets, how do you sunny side up? What is sunny side up? What is bullseye? What is a fried egg? What is a difference between a scrambled egg Conti style and a scrambled egg Indian style? What is the difference between a French omelette and an Indian omelette? These. And then they can also ask you, you must have done sauce in your classes. They may also ask you derivatives of the sauce. In first year, colleges do not do that, but still the examiner may ask you few names for each sauce. All the sauce have some derivatives. You should learn few of these derivative names. Then whatever book you're referring, guys, whether it is P.S. Bali or Theory of Cookery, in the end they are grocery terms. I may not be remembering all the grocery terms, but an external examiner may ask you some grocery terms like what is deglaze, what is bouquet garni, what is mirepoix, all this. So you should always read the end of your book, grocery terms. It would be helpful. Like what is a raft, what is a roux, all these terms. So if you make consomme, what are the points to be kept in mind while making a good consomme? You should not break the raft, the consomme should not boil, it should always simmer. What are the few points to make stock? Like you should never put salt in your stock. Other question that your examiner may ask you could be difference between herbs and spices. He may ask you to name 5 herbs, he may ask you to name 5 spices, or the difference between herbs and spices. Cooking methods is very important. They may ask you what is the difference between blanching and boiling, or the moist cooking methods, what are the moist cooking method, what are the dry cooking method, difference between shallow frying and deep frying. These are some other question that they can ask you. Salad dressing, now it's very important. What is the different types of vinaigrette that we make? French vinaigrette, ratio of oil and vinegar, English, American, Italian, and other dressings. What are the other types of dressings we have? So these are a few other questions that the examiner may ask you. In the end, I wish you all the best for your exams. Please be on time, be in a proper grooming, wear a clean, neat chef coat, be properly shaved. Your hair should be trimmed down and short, nails should be cut down, and you should be in a proper grooming and reach your kitchen on time. That's all a chef wants. Thank you and all the best.